Okay, so today we're going to focus on a little spinal segmentation. All right, now really important in terms of proprioceptive awareness is being able to disassociate the upper and lower extremities and upper and lower vertebrae. All right, now I'm going to break this down for you and make it really simple. Okay, now the first thing that you can do is, let's say you start off with some basic cat-cows. Okay, so I'll show you some of these. Okay, so our quadruped position, and it's really simple. We're just going to go into some spinal flexion and some spinal extension. All right, so as you'll see here, all of my vertebrae are moving as one piece. Okay, it's all moving as one piece, which is completely fine. That's going to help you gain some control to start off. But once we've got that, what we want to actually then do is start to segment the vertebrae. So what I'm going to do is break it down from top half to bottom half. I'm going to focus on thoracic and upper back, and then I'm going to focus on lumbar and lower vertebrae. All right, and how we're going to do that is really simple. So from here, I'm going to show you from the side. What I'm going to do is take my hands and I'm going to place my wrists just in front of my knees, as you can see. And because I'm doing this, what I'm basically doing is locking down my lumbar spine so that there's going to be very limited movement from here, which is what I want, because then I'm separating my upper back from my lower back. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the shoulders down and packed. Really important, because what we don't want is our scapula protracting in order to gain more spinal flexion here. Okay, we want to really isolate that area, so that's making sure that the scapula isn't moving too much. So here I'm going to pull down, and then I'm going to go into some spinal flexion, which, as you can see, is nowhere near the amount of flexion as what I would get if I was protracting the scapula as well. So from here, shoulders pulled down, spinal flexion, and then I'm going to go into extension, really squeezing the wrists into the ground, really press through, and then again keeping the scapula packed and shoulders down and back, extension and flexion. And again, there's not much movement on that, which is okay. So from here, once we've worked on opening up that upper back, then what we're going to do is start to focus our energy down in the lumbar area. So from here, what I'm going to do is basically interlock my fingers behind my head and placing the crown of the head on the ground. What we're going to do then is real simple. I'm going to go into spinal flexion, and then I'm going to go into extension, flexion and extension. Okay, so that's basically breaking the vertebrae down into two parts. Now, what we want to do once we've done that is focus on combining those two movements, and then we're going to create like a sort of spinal wave, and we're going to segment the vertebrae the whole way up and down, and I'm going to show you right now how that's going to look. So again, quadruped position like we done at the start. So instead of us moving as one, what we're going to try to do is, first of all, go into flexion at the lumbar area, and then I'm going to work my way up my back one vertebrae at a time, right up to cervical, and then I'm going to work it back down, into cervical extension again, and then we will work it in the opposite direction, cervical flexion, protraction, flexion, and tucking the whole way up and down, so that now, as I say, we've got that nice spinal wave going on, and then we've got much more control over that area.